If you have been cutting calories, working harder than ever, and still can't get rid of the fupa, trust me, it is not your fault. I have clients over 40 constantly telling me what I used to do before is just not cutting it now. And if that sounds like you, then you're right. The rules absolutely, positively change after 40. And if you are making these three mistakes, then tragically, you will stay stuck. Now, before we get into the video, I have a really special offer for you guys. I've decided to do a Black Friday sale on my Fat Loss Accelerator, which is one of my best-selling ebooks. It usually goes for $27, but from this Friday all the way to Black Friday, it's going to only be $7. And that's going to give you the workout plan, the meal plan, the fasting guides, everything that you need to succeed, including 50 plus recipes, so that you can start to lose the fupa for good and have all of the Coach Tay tips in one combined package. So check that out if you're ready to lose the fupa and basically have all of my YouTube videos in one. Now, back to the video. This video is specifically for women 40 plus that have tried the HIIT, they've tried over exercising, they've tried eating less, and they're still stuck with the bloating, the fatigue, and feeling super inflamed and feeling like that muffin top just ain't gonna stop. If you feel like your metabolism is slowed down, your stress is out of this world, or the scale is just not moving, then this video is for you. Now, you already know what time it is. Time to give y'all some fat loss tips. Now, let's get into mistake numero uno, which I hear more often than I'd like to, is over exercising. I love to say this, but women are not little men. We do not need to exercise like men. I usually find that women are exercising 7 days a week, and it's just crazy. If you're going to F45 or Orange Theory 7 days a week, it is wreaking havoc on your cortisol levels. And y'all know how I feel about cortisol over here. If your cortisol is spiked, then your body thinks it's in fight or flight. It thinks it's running from a saber-toothed tiger. And if we're running from a saber-toothed tiger, we don't care about losing fat. We don't care about our immune system. We don't care about our digestion. We don't care about our cognitive function. We're trying to move away from the tiger. Meanwhile, you're eating chips, watching Netflix, watching Instagram or TikTok, and you're on the phone with your cousin or your mother-in-law talking about Auntie Shirley's mac and cheese for Thanksgiving this year. I say all this to say we have plenty of things spiking our cortisol, so it's no reason to fill up the bucket with over-exercising like a mad woman. So I know at this point you're probably like, okay, Coach T, I see what you're saying, but what should I do instead? I'm glad you asked. So instead, I would like you to strength train for 2 to 4 days a week, depending on your level of fitness, and do 8 to 12K steps a day, or even a low intensity exercise 2 times a week, like Pilates, yoga, all that good stuff. When we have a well-balanced plan like this, where we're mostly low intensity, and if it is some type of high intensity strength training, it's only 2 to 4 days a week, not 7 days a week, then we give our body time to rest and recover. And that is how we grow the best muscle mass, because muscle mass is not grown when we're actually lifting the weights. It's grown when we're sleeping, resting, and recovering from lifting the weights. Now, let's get into tip number 2 so you can look good for you and your boo, and you can know what to do so that the fupa can be gone. And you will say, Your Honor, I testify. Coach T was right. All right. Number 2 is fasting incorrectly. So I think a lot of people already know that fasting is really good, especially the older that women get. But a lot of people are not correctly fasting. So I want to go over the 3 main things that we need to consider when fasting to make sure that we're not starving. So number 1 is to make sure that we're getting our vitamins and minerals in. 2 things that are really important that I tell my clients is to get your electrolytes in and to get your probiotics in. So please, please, please be sure that you are fueling yourself with probiotics and electrolytes so that we are not starving ourselves and making our body basically eat our muscle. Instead of going into autophagy and working for us, it starts to kind of starve and work against us. And we don't want that, especially during a fast or we're trying to speed up fat burning. We're not trying to break down muscle. We're trying to preserve the muscle. The second thing I want you to keep in mind with fasting is not breaking it like you've never had sweets or carbs a day in your life and you just want to pig out on the best, most worst things for your health and life possible. So let's not pig out on unhealthy foods after a fast, because how you break your fast is basically how you make your fast. If you're breaking your fast unhealthily, it can actually cause you to be even more inflamed instead of breaking your fast properly. I know you're probably thinking, okay, well, Coach T, how do I break the fast then? I'm glad you asked. And since we're having this conversation with each other, thank you for paying attention this long. I appreciate it. So, first, you're going to break your fast with something that is going to help heal your gut lining and prepare your stomach for whatever is about to go in it that's going to be good. So, what I like to do is to drink bone broth, specifically kettle and fire. And I have all of this in my guide. That's $7 right now. So if you want to just have everything in one, you can go ahead and check that out. Or you can do something like L-glutamine. After we set up our gut for success and making sure that we're supporting our mucosal lining in the inside of our stomach, then we want to move on to fiber, prebiotic fiber. But we also can just skip a step and do the prebiotics, the probiotics, and the postbiotics by drinking a shot of this probiotic that I absolutely love called Floribiome. And I'm going to have it linked in the bio for you. But basically, this is a pre, pro, and postbiotic. And one of the reasons that I love it is because it is liquid and it's refrigerated, which makes me really trust the efficacy. It makes me really trust how potent it is. Because the biggest thing that makes a probiotic is the fact that it's fermented. And usually people are not eating kimchi or sauerkraut all the time. So drinking this drink, you can taste that it's fermented, kind of like kombucha. And it has all of these things in one, rather than me telling you to do some prebiotic fiber, which is some veggies, and then eat some yogurt, because who wants to eat yogurt after bone broth? You know, it's just not practical. So I would highly suggest Floribiome Pro and postbiotic, or something similar to it that's a liquid probiotic. Next, we want to go in with our protein and fats. And last, we want to go into some complex whole food carbs. Let's try not to have the cinnamon rolls and the Rice Krispie treats, even though, I love me a good cinnamon roll. So when we break our fast like this, we set our body and our gut up for success rather than setting our gut up for inflammation and to wreak havoc on something we just cleansed out. This is the best way to go when breaking a fast, and a lot of people mess up here. Now, let me tell you the last thing that people really underestimate with fasting, which is preparing the day before. A lot of people don't realize what you eat the day before actually dictates how good or bad the fast is going to be. And this is because, like, whatever your body has to finish digesting, it usually doesn't finish digesting it to the next day, because most people are not having regular bowel movements and their digestive system is not moving as fast and efficiently as it should. So let's say you have a cinnamon roll. Y'all know I'm about to say a cinnamon roll. Let's say you have a cinnamon roll, you have some cake, some ice cream the day before, because you're like, I'm about to go on a fast tomorrow, so I want to make sure that I get everything out of my system right now. You got some crawfish cheese fries. Cool. You're gonna get to your fast day and you're gonna feel like you've lost your dang mind. Your mind is gonna start telling you stuff that you ain't never heard before. It's gonna be like, girl, you thought you was gonna do a fast day? That is hilarious. You remember that thing we had yesterday? It's literally garbling in your stomach. Like, you remember, girl, that it was good, girl. Let's go get us some. I want some of that. Like, that's what's gonna happen during your fast. And I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, because if you ever tried fasting, your mind starts running rampant like crazy. So if you want to set yourself up for success, I would highly suggest getting you some grilled salmon, some blackened chicken. Make sure that we're eating healthy whole foods, even complex carbs, before we go into a fast. So we won't have that chit chat up here and that groggerling down here, making us crave and desire those unhealthy foods and making the fast even more miserable than it already could be. Even though fasting is wonderful, after you feel so much better, you get the brain fog, not foggy. You see the light of day, your stomach is flatter, your brain works a little better, and it really is great overall. But you do get that dopamine drop, you do get that serotonin drop. So we want to make sure that we're prepared for those things to be decreased and not just wreaking havoc on our brain and our stomach. So those are the three things as far as fasting incorrectly goes. Now let's get into the third thing that I know every woman over 40 needs to avoid, so that we can get to these fat loss gains and sustain them for good. And actually, I'm gonna hold y'all hand when I say this, because every single one of my clients struggle with this. And it is the lack of sleep. The lack of sleep is killing your gains. Yes, them 4 hours of sleep, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Them 4 hours of sleep, and then now you got 5, so you thinking, yeah, I'm on a roll. Now I got 5 hours. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. You're playing with your health, ma'am. You're playing with that sexy body and preventing chronic illness, preventing brain fog, preventing cravings. We don't understand all of the things that are happening in our sleep. We are repairing in our sleep. Sleep is restorative. For example, a lot of people don't realize, like I was saying earlier, our muscle is grown in our sleep. We burn fat in our sleep. We don't actually do that during the day. So when we tear our muscles when we're working out, when we go to sleep, it heals. Similar to, let's say, if you got a cut. and it's bleeding, you put a band-aid on it, but the cut is pretty open throughout the day. Then you go to sleep, you wake up, now you have a scab. You go to sleep again, you wake up, and now like the scab is peeling, you got some skin under there. So essentially, sleep is where the healing happens. Sleep is where the repair is happening. But if we don't have good sleep, and good sleep is not just long sleep, but it's also deep sleep. If we don't have good, long, deep sleep, I'm talking about sleep, stay with me, then we are wreaking havoc on our health and, quite frankly, our quality of life. Because when we don't have sleep, we're more irritable, we have more cravings, we have more bloating, we have more inflammation, we compromise our metabolism, we have cognitive dysfunction, we have more brain fog. The list goes on and on and on. Sleep is the foundation, just like nutrition and working out and all that good stuff is the foundation of your health and wellness in general. Sleep is the foundation of it all. If we don't have sleep, then we don't get to restore everything that's happening every day. If we don't have sleep, then we're not able to heal our gut or heal our body in ways that can be transformative for us. If we don't have sleep, then we're going to be irritable and we're going to be going off on more people and we're going to think we have anxiety and depression and stress, but really we just didn't get enough sleep last night. So sleep is very, very essential and important, and a lot of women underestimate it. And I know you probably already know that you need 7 to 8 hours. I really don't even have to write it down. I need you guys to get 7 or 8 hours of sleep. 5 is not enough. And it starts with your night routine. I will write that down because one thing that a lot of people underestimate is the fact that their night routine basically sucks. And a lot of people are watching their TV, they're going to sleep on their phone, and they're underestimating the fact that your phone and your tablet and your TV are spiking your cortisol levels. When you spike your cortisol levels right before you go to sleep, you can't sleep as deeply. And like I said before, deep sleep and long sleep are equally as important to make sure that we can restore and burn that fat, gain that muscle, and look sexy and fight off disease, fight off inflammation, fight off the bloat in a sustainable and restorative way. So every woman, especially over 40, needs a 30-minute night routine that incorporates not being on the phone, not being on the TV, and maybe some deep breathing, maybe some journaling, just something to decompress the mind so that you can get into a rhythm of telling your body, okay, I'm going to sleep. It is time to shut down. We're going to get everything out of our mind. If we want to journal some things and get it out of our mind so we're not overthinking going to sleep, then so be it. This is going to be the bread and garlic butter to your fat loss, health, longevity journey in general. So please do not underestimate it. Please don't play with it. And I can assure you, you're not alone because all of my clients are struggling with this. And we talk each and every week about how we're going to make sure to get it better. And maybe you're dealing with the same thing and you would love some accountability and support and a personalized plan for not only your health goals, but also your fitness goals. I'd love to have you join the community of women over 40, losing that fat for good, getting to our health goals, and actually reaching sustainable fat loss and not just trying gimmicks or quick fixes. If that sounds like you, go ahead and fill out the application below for the one-on-one coaching, but only if you are serious about getting to your goals. One thing's for sure and two things for certain, my clients do not play about their fitness goals and their health goals, and I do not play with them, and I'm not gonna play with y'all. So only fill out the application if you're serious about reaching your goals in the next few months. If you're like, I don't know if I'm ready, I'm kind of on the fence, then I would highly suggest you check out the Fat Loss Accelerator ebook. That's only $7 that will map out every little thing you need to succeed. And you can take this journey on by yourself with all of the tidbits and educational pointers that I say on my YouTube channel. It's the lowest price it'll ever be, and after next week, it's going right back up to $27. And I also have some fun goodies in there for menopausal health as well. So check it out if you just need the general plan. But if you want a personalized approach with a coach that cares, that will hold you accountable like you deserve, go ahead and fill out that one-on-one application so we can see if you're a good fit for the program. Now, I only have 3 spots left until the end of the year. Just to let you guys know. So once it fills up, and then we'll have to add you to the waiting list. But anyway it goes, I'm going to be here on YouTube giving you as much free advice as possible. So drop in the comments which one of these mistakes you've been doing and what you're going to do to fix it moving forward. And if you love this video, I already know you guys are going to love this one that gives you a 30-day protocol on how you can accelerate your fat loss before Christmas, because I know y'all about to eat real good for Thanksgiving. Until next time, drop in the comments what you're changing. And don't forget, I believe in you guys. Do you?